Hello, and welcome back to another random fact. Just a short disclaimer. I did look up how to pronounce a lot of this stuff. I might mispronounce it, but I do have a cheat sheet, so there we go. Have you ever heard of King Phillips War? Apparently, it was America's most devastating conflict and happened prior to American independence. Some say it was fought between June 1675 and April 1678. Others say it ended on August of 1676. It is also referred to as the First Indian War, Metacom's War, Metacomet's War, Pometacomet's Rebellion, and Metacom's Rebellion. Essentially, it was a conflict between New England's Native American tribes and New England colonists with their Native American allies. It was named after Metacom, the Wampanoag chief who adopted the name Philip due to somewhat friendly relations with his father, Massasoit, and the Mayflower Pilgrims. There was a long-standing alliance between Massasoit and the colonists that would last until his death in 1662, at which time his son, Metacom, or Philip, became the tribal chief. Metacom wasn't really a fan of the alliance, and that's when the trouble began. A peace agreement that was drafted in 1671 had the colonists insisting that the agreement should include the surrender of all Indian firearms, and we all know how that works out. In 1675, 3 Wampanoags were hanged in Plymouth County for the murder of another Wampanoag. This would add fuel to an already simmering fire and lead Indian raiding parties to attack villages and homesteads throughout the New England colonies. Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and Maine. This would go on for 6 months before the colonial militia would retaliate. Most of the fighting took place in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, but colonists in Connecticut would also participate in many of the battles that ended up having an impact on the outcome of the war itself. Underlying all of this was the fact that the colonists desired more land. Colonist livestock would repeatedly intrude onto Wampanoag farms and food stores, and the colonists didn't seem to make any real attempt at hindering it. One other issue was that the colonists were sending missionaries in to convert the Wampanoag to Christianity, which irritated Metacom, who would say that the Wampanoag leaders had great fear that any of their people should become Christians, thus leading him to negotiate with other tribes against specifically the Plymouth colony in the winter of 1674 to 75. In the end, the thing that kicked off the entire thing was the execution of the 3 Wampanoags. For a time, it appeared that the colonists would abandon their land and retreat to the seaside towns that were better protected. That didn't happen once Connecticut troops, along with Pequot and Mohegan tribes, would join in the battles and have roles in the Great Swamp Fight near South Kingstown, Rhode Island in December 1675, when they feared that the Narragansett tribe would join Metacom. So they marched through the freezing conditions that are the Northeast to attack the Narragansett camp, where they would fight for hours before the colonists gained control and then burned all of the wigwams, costing the lives of nearly all 1,000 inhabitants. The fighting continued into the spring of 1676, when Metacom's men attacked Simsbury on March 26th, with rumor being that Metacom sat in a cave on Avon Mountain to watch the town burn. There were other attacks in Plymouth and Longmeadow, Maine, and on March 29th, Providence, Rhode Island was burned. Come the summer, though, Metacom was losing support, and in June, Connecticut troops fought back an attack on Hadley, Massachusetts, where Major John Talcott would begin capturing many of Metacom's men to transport them to New England, where they would be sold. How American. On August 12th, 1676, Captain Benjamin Church pursued Metacom to his hiding place in Mount Hope, Rhode Island, where Metacom was eventually killed. This, according to some, was the end of King Phillips War. On October 26, 1676, the Rhode Island legislature issued a formal rebuke to then-deceased Connecticut Governor John Winthrop 6 months after the burning of the city. This letter placed the blame solely on the United Colonies of New England because they felt that the colonies were the cause of the war due to the fact that they provoked the Narragansetts. Although Metacom had been killed, the fighting continued through most of the northern areas of New England until the Treaty of Casco Bay was signed on April 12, 1678. This has been hailed the United States' most devastating conflict because 1 in 10 soldiers from both sides were killed. 1,200 colonists' homes were burned. Much of the stores of food was destroyed. 3,000 Indians died, and some were sold into slavery and transported to Bermuda, to include Metacom's son. More than half of the New England towns were attacked by Indians, with some being completely destroyed. So, let's keep the conversation going down in the comments. Did you know about this? And if I pronounced something wrong, you don't have to tell me. I probably did. I probably know I did because I study a lot of Northeastern Native American tribes, honestly. But let me know your thoughts about this word down in the comments. Is there some other little random fact or piece of history that you'd like me to talk about? Let me know down in the comments. And hey, while you're down there, maybe if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, maybe go ahead and subscribe. That'd be kind of cool. And just to help with the algorithm, I don't know, leave what kind of emoji should they leave? A peace emoji. That would be really great. And until next time, I will see you in my next video. Bye.